Where are you from? Dominica. And you're from England.
Yeah.
I'm more Jamaican than any of you lot on here.
You're not. When was the last time you went to Jamaica?
Nobody can't
No, hold on.
about
Nobody can't tell me that. When was the last time you went to Jamaica?
When was the last time?
When was the last time you was in Jamaica?
It does.
Do you know what's going on the streets of Jamaica?
Do you know?
When was you there last?
You made a big claim. It matters. You made a big claim.
It does. Don't come tell me about your Jamaican, because you're more Jamaican than me. Of course you are.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very interesting video. You know, when you tell people that Jamaica is a big brand, some people do not actually believe it. Some people doubt us. Some people begin to doubt us. Okay, some people are doubting Thomas. When you tell people that Jamaica is a big brand, it's not just any other brand. Some people have second thoughts about that opinion. Well, it's a democratic world, and you know, the people are allowed to have divergent opinions. Okay, now there are three people who are fighting over Jamaican identity. One of the two people is from Europe. The other one is from the other one is from which what is this? What is the name of this country that is very close to Haiti? What is the name? I keep forgetting this country. What is the name of this country? That is very.
Where are you from? Dominica. And you're from England.
Yeah.
I'm more Jamaican than any of you lot on here.
You're not. When was the last time you went to Jamaica?
Nobody can't
hold on. Nobody can't tell me that. When was the last time you went to Jamaica?
When was the last time?
When was the last time you was in Jamaica?
It does.
Do you know what's going on the streets of Jamaica?
Do you know?
When was you there last?
You made a big claim. It matters. You made a big claim. It does matter. You made a big claim.
When was you last in Jamaica?
Was you last in Jamaica?
It doesn't matter.
What we're asking is, when was you last?
No, it doesn't.
It does in this context.
So someone went on vacation to Jamaica yesterday, they're more Jamaican than me.
No, you can't tell me because you're Jamaican you know anything more about dancehall moves than me.
Okay, you know more.
100%. 100%.
I believe you.
100% I do.
I believe you.
100% I do.
Okay.
Hey, you see, you might ask yourself, why is it that people love Jamaicans so much? To an extent that we even have scenarios where people are even, you know, there's a tug of war, there's a pull and push of Jamaican identity on air. What is so special about the Jamaican people that is making people, you know, fight for their own identity? Ladies and gentlemen, you see, one thing is this: when you accept who you are, when you are confident with who you are, the world has to conform. Yes, the world has to conform and accept you the way you are, and over time the world will love it. Ladies and gentlemen, look at Jamaicans. You know, they don't change who they are. Actually, it's up to you to copy Jamaicans. It's not for Jamaicans to copy you. Let me repeat that again. It's up to you to copy Jamaicans. It's not up to Jamaicans to copy you. Jamaicans, where they go, they remain Jamaicans. A Jamaican carry a Jamaica where I go. You know, it doesn't matter where they are going. Even if they are going to Canada, even if they are living in Canada, USA, whatever part of this world that Jamaicans live, they still remain to be Jamaicans. So when you live like that, when you live that like that, okay, you stick with your own identity. You don't keep on presenting yourself in different forms. You know, I have seen scenarios where someone is from Namaingo village in Uganda, you know, and starts behaving and acting like someone is from Japan. You know, you're confusing people. You know, the message that you're sending to the rest of the world is that you are not proud of your own identity. You're not proud of your own origin. So people will not appreciate you. But look at yes, people will not appreciate you. But look at Jamaicans. Look at Jamaicans. Have you ever seen a Jamaican going to Japan and they start behaving and acting like Japans? Have you ever seen Jamaicans going to USA and they start behaving and acting like, you know, natives in the America? Unless circumstances force them, okay? Unless now they have to go into an environment whereby they have to speak like those people so that they can understand each other. But alone, or when you're talking to a Jamaican alone, or when Jamaicans are talking to each other, they change and become Jamaicans. They don't, you know, that's how it is. That's how it is. And guess what? People notice when you love where you are, when you love with your own, when you are so much in love with your own culture, when you fight for your own culture, people love it. People tend to notice, and people conform. The world starts conforming. The universe conforms and loves that, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, sometimes I also tend to believe that Jamaica is the chosen one. Jamaicans are the chosen people. They are the chosen one. Jamaica is the chosen one. Yeah, Jamaica is the chosen one. It's a blessed land. It's the modern day Canaan that we have been looking for. That's my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's the modern day Canaan. That's why we are fighting for it. Yeah? And maybe the promised land was Jamaica. Who knows? The promised land in the Bible. Maybe it's Jamaica. Yeah. Look at it. From the times of history. From the times of history, people fought for that land through blood and sweat. A lot of people died because of Jamaica, fighting for Jamaica. When the British were taking it away from the Arawaks, then later on, the Maroon War came in. There has been a lot of bloodshed over Jamaican, ladies and gentlemen. There's some special divine blessing that Jamaicans carry. We may not see. This is very spiritual. This is very spiritual. There's some special divine blessings that Jamaicans carry that you may not be able to see. People from us, it's like they ask us from the outside. We are the only ones who can see that. That's why a lot of us wants to go the promised land. One thing that I have appreciated about the Jamaican people is how they have remained, is how they have remained steadfast and constant with who they are. Just like the way the Nigerians are. When the Nigerians go to America, they remain Nigerians. They still wear their anchors. They still keep on their pidgin, accent. You can tell a Nigerian even in America for 20 years, even if he has lived in America for 20 years. It's the same thing with Jamaican people. Jamaicans remain constant with who they are. Okay, it's up for you. It's up to you to copy a Jamaican, but it's not up to a Jamaican to copy you. A Jamaican will never copy your culture. A Jamaican will never copy your accent. It's up for you. It's up to you to copy him, but it's not up for them to copy you. That's one thing that I love and appreciate about Jamaican people. And when you appreciate your ancestry, when you appreciate your origin, when you appreciate your culture, people embrace you more. Okay, but when you keep presenting yourself in different forms, you are an African from Uganda, but you want to act and behave and speak like a Japanese, people will think of you like a crazy person. Okay, people will not appreciate your own culture. Imagine someone who is from a different part of the world, but wants to act and behave differently from his own culture. Is that someone who really appreciates their own culture? Someone is from Kenya but wants to behave like someone in the Korean. Nobody. People will get confused. People will get confused, ladies and gentlemen. But you see, for Jamaican, it doesn't matter where they go to. Even if they go to America, even if they go to Canada, they still remain the way they are. They stay true to their own culture, and people appreciate that. There's nothing that people love in this world than people who love and appreciate their own origin, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Okay, so again, another thing is a natural human phenomena to always want to be close to people who seem to be doing so much well in life. Okay, yeah, you might be having maybe a beautiful girlfriend and say, hey man, you have a beautiful girlfriend, let me be your friend. I want to be close to someone who seems to have something that I also want, who seem to be doing so much well in life. It's a natural human behavior, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, that is not what I will do, but I'm just using this as an example, ladies and gentlemen. So when you see these three people, arguing over Jamaican identity, ladies and gentlemen, global popularity of Jamaican identity is very much high.
Jamaican. Listen, I have this conversation with my woman every day. Don't come tell me about your Jamaican, because you're more Jamaican than me. Of course you are.
You're red.
I never said I was Jamaican. I'm not taking nothing away from being Jamaican or nothing like. I'm talking. It's nothing to do with being Jamaican. I'm saying like up to date with what is happening, like the slang, the talk, the latest. That's why I was asking when was the last time you ever heard of her,
Mafiela?
Yeah, man.
That's my sister. Same mum. My mum's Jamaican. My dad's Jamaican. Because I'm sitting on couch talking in an English accent.
More Jamaican than
People are trying to style me like I don't know
Jamaican
my thing. You understand what I'm
more
saying?
Jamaican than
Please, my dad was in rough cut band. You cannot style my thing. My dad's a Rasta.
Listen.
Jamaicans' appreciation did not start today. Okay, and at one point I talked about the Panama Canal, the reconstruction of the Panama Canal. Okay, the U.S. government, the people who are in charge of that project preferred to hire a lot of Jamaicans between 1800 and 1804. They hired over 100,000 Jamaicans. They came to work in the Panama Canal reconstruction. Why? Because a lot of Jamaicans were considered to be very industrious people. Okay, another thing is, look at the Costa Rica. Okay, a lot of the people who are in Costa Rica hired a lot of Jamaicans. They preferred Jamaicans to work in the banana plantations and the fruit company because a lot of them were very, very much experienced when it comes to banana cultivation, ladies and gentlemen. So this appreciation of Jamaicans started from way back. It's like now history is repeating itself, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all these countries that Jamaicans have been migrating to. People, the recruiters have been preferring Jamaicans. Look at, for instance, during the wind rush. Okay, when a lot of Jamaicans came to Europe in World War II to help in the reconstruction of Europe, because a lot of it was damaged because of World War II, ladies and gentlemen. You see, it did not start today. I'm dating it back to history and history and history. And of course, yes, some people also say Jamaicans are also the pace setters of this world. Yes, they are the pace setters. Look at the Rastafarian culture. The Rastafari was started out in Jamaica. Okay, look at the sound system culture. The sound system culture was started out in Jamaica. Look at the reggae. Reggae was started out in Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen. Most Jamaican theme colors were started out in Jamaica. When people talk about the Caribbean, what do they use? They use the Jamaican theme colors. When people want to, you cannot disassociate. You cannot speak about the Caribbean without speaking about Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why people want to be. Naturally, it's a natural human phenomenon. People want to be close to that. People want to be associated with that. Okay, Jamaica has a long history of global appreciation, and it did not start today. Look at the iron technology, for instance. Jamaicans introduced iron technology in Europe. Name it. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and I'm not, and I'm speaking like this. I'm not referring to anything. I'm not referring to anything. I have this knowledge with me, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, next year, God willing, I'm also planning to go and take a walk in Jamaica. Yes, by next year, if God, God willing, I want to go and take a walk in Jamaica, so that I can also feel this love, so that I can also get to experience Jamaican culture. Thank you so much for watching my videos up to this point, and subscribe and share this video all the way. Walipa, peace and love. Big up on yourself to all Jamaican people. And of course, by next year, making some serious consideration to travel to Jamaica. By next year, December, I'm going to Jamaica. I hope so, God willing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching up to this point. So anyway, let me share your thoughts in the comment section, and see you again in my next video.